I'm just showing you lines and all of a sudden I'm thinking about food because I'm a chubby girl. That's what we do. We like food. I like desserts and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Hello, today's the day. We're going to start on the stools and I'm so excited to get these going because each one is going to be different and it's just something different to do for a little bit other than planning amigurumi or other things. The stool we're going to be doing today is this one. We are doing the white stool, or it's cream. I've already decided on what kind of flowers we're going to be using. This is going to be the sunflower stool. I am going to be using my Dishie cotton with this one because I think the color is pretty good, and most of the sunflowers are all in the same kind of color palette. Y'all evidently matched up your yarn all over the place because they look really nice. So I think they're all going to go together really well. And I love my Dishie cotton. It's one of the only cottons I like, and this is from WeCrochet. So if y'all hate cotton, try this. Try this one. It's really good. What I'm envisioning for this stool is we're going to divide it into pieces of pie. I'm going to be crocheting these lines that'll go across here, and there's going to be a big sunflower that's going to go on the top that one of y'all sit in, and then the other smaller ones are just going to be placed throughout. I'm also going to be crocheting flowers, and I have this book that I've had for quite some time that I've yet to get to work out of, as is the case with most of my books. This one finally has a purpose that isn't something I dreamed up and then I've never done. I'm gonna get to use it. That's wonderful. The cool thing about this book is it gives you all different kinds of leaves and flowers that you can make, and the majority of the flowers in here are appliques, so they'll sit nice and flat against this, and it'll be awesome. First, let's make this to where I can actually use it. We have to take off the legs. Instead of screw on, we're gonna unscrew. Totally different concept than the other way. I'm gonna stop there. Now let's pick out the flowers. It's just a small, large box full of all of your beautiful flowers. So let me see here. There's these two. I think I'm just gonna have to dump them out to look. It's just a bunch. So let's see. There's some cute little tiny ones. Here's another one. These are a different shade, but I still think they're gonna be just fine. Really and truly, these flowers are just beautiful. There are so many. There's like this one, there's a poppy, and these are from Cassandra at craftablyeverafter. This lime green one, I love that one. Then this one I think is so pretty. I love this one, and it's sparkle yarn. She knew. I love me some sparkle. I don't know if I'm going to use these, but I'm going to go ahead and take out more yellow ones because I might end up using those because I can still put black centers on these and use them. Oh, look at this one. It's kind of like a double. There are so many beautiful flowers. It's hard. It's hard deciding. Look, there's rose, but this is sunflowers. So I can't use this one on this one. Oh, and I love this one. I think this is from Marcia at Mimi Makes Keepsakes. I think this is one of her flowers. Not positive, but I think so. I think I've chosen enough yellow ones for this particular stool, and we may not use all of these on this. For an idea I have for one of the other stools, some of these would be perfect for that, so I may not use all of these on this one, but we will see. This one I want to be on the very top, either this one or this one. I don't know. I like them both, and they're both about the same size. I'll have to play with this and see which one I want on the very top. But before we can start attaching sunflowers, I gotta do all the designs on the stool because that has to be first, and then we put the flowers on top. So let me put these to the side. I have just chipped my nail. How does a person chip their nail playing with yarn? I don't know, but I did it. This is gonna drive me crazy. I have to fix this immediately. And now fixing that chipped nail made this other nail chip. Being a girl is hard. I'm fixed now. I feel better. There's all of our sunflowers. So there's 22 here. And like I said, not all of these are going to be used because they just may not go with what I'm doing, and it might overload it too much, because we're not going to overload until we have to overload. I do have plans of overloading a couple of these though. Let me get going on my stripes that we're going to be making. Oh, I have not worked with this stuff in a bit. I love it. I love Dishie cotton. It's just the best stuff. And these are definitely cotton, the covers on these things, and I believe they can come off. Yes, you're going to have to work hard to get it off, but it can come off. I'm not going to take it off though, unless I absolutely have to. I want it in this shape for me to do all the stuff on it. I'm going to pull from my hooks that are right here. Let's see. I'm going to go with this hook. This is a 4mm, and this is from Crochet Society that I've gotten in one of my advent calendars. What I want to do is I'm going to start from here in the middle, and I want this chain to be long enough to come down here to the bottom. I don't want them to go all the way across, because if all of these are crossing over each other, it's going to make a big lump on the top. They're going to start in the middle and then just go down from there. So let's get started. Okay, this is perfect. This is 50 chains, and I'm going to go back down my chain with half double crochets, because I want the lines to be not huge, but to stand out a little bit. So we're going to go back down the chain. Yes, this is going to be perfect. Look, look, look. Again, look. Look, it's going to be perfect. So it's going to make these pretty stripes going down like pieces of cake. Because I like cake. I like frosting more than a cake. But I like them both. I'm just showing you lines, and all of a sudden I'm thinking about food. Because I'm a chubby girl. That's what we do. We like food. I like desserts. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. This is going to look like a dessert to me. Underneath all the beautiful flowers, all I'm going to see is pie and cake. All right, I'm going to cut off a pretty big tail, because I know I have a lot of sewing to do on this. I am going to be gluing parts, but I'm going to be sewing as well, because I just want to be extra cautious. This is my insurance. If something were to come apart on it, this is my insurance. Have a long tail and good sewing. Now let's just make let's make 6 more. I finished making all the stripes that are going to be going on this. This is what I'm going for, is these little sections. And then I'm going to take the sunflowers and I'm going to put them on in various places along here. But now we need leaves for these lovely sunflowers. And I don't know what leaves of sunflowers look like, because I don't garden at all. No, I don't know how to keep things alive that don't tell me to keep them alive. If they're silent, they're on their own. You got to remind me about how to take care of you. If you can't do that, then I'm sorry, you might die. Plants are that way here. Thankfully, my husband, as he's gotten older, he's doing more old man things, so he is tending to the things that don't tell us they need things to live. He's doing that now, so things are living because of Zach. That looks like a leaf. Just a regular old plain Jane leaf. I can do this, and I am going to look in here to look at the leaves that they have in this book, just to kind of get an idea of what I want to do and to see what kind of patterns they have in this. There's various types in here that I think we can pull off with this. So I might make some little ones, some bigger ones, just so we have a little bit of depth. I'm probably going to be doing this tonight because it's getting late in the day and I need to go do things. So I'm going to go and do a few other things and then we'll come back to this. But I'm excited. I am visualizing all kinds of amazing things in my head. Once I put it on here, it might be totally different. But right now in my head, it's looking good. In real life, I don't know. We'll see. This is a challenging book. This is not a beginner book at all. It is written in UK terms. As I've mentioned in other videos, I'm an older person. That also means my eyes are older. And the writing in this is just hard for me to follow because you're not just doing single crochet in this, because you also have double crochet, half double crochet, treble crochets, but in UK terms, everything goes up a size. So our half double crochet is their half treble. Our single crochet is their double crochet. Our treble crochet is something much bigger than that. I can't remember. It's just a tougher pattern book. I will just say that because I am struggling with a few of these leaves that I would like to try to make. And it's not her writing or anything. It's just translating what she has here into English. I'm just struggling a little bit. So some of these I've completely made up, some of my leaves. I am gonna keep making more because I know what I've made already is not enough. Hardly any one of the leaves I've made from this are looking exactly like this, like they are in the book. All of the flowers in this book are flat, like applique flowers. And when you're working flat like that and adding so much definition, it's just challenging. That's all I can say. They're just tougher patterns, but there's a ton of really neat leaves, stems, flowers, buds, everything is in here. And she's broken each one into small little groups. So I do like that. Now I've already sewn on my little green things, and now what my vision is I'm gonna take the sunflowers and each one is going to go in one of these little areas of my pie, and they're going to go all the way around. And some of these are all different sizes. They're not all going to match. And then here on the top, I'll be doing something similar, is I'll have the sunflower here on top, and I'm probably going to be using some of the smaller ones to go around with this, and then have some little leaves peeking out through. So that's the plan. These are the two largest sunflowers, and I'm really thinking this one is the biggest, and it should go here on the very top. And this one I'm gonna have go right in the front, like this. It'll look like this. Let me go ahead and get my needle and scissors and crochet hook and get started.
The fall is coming, I can feel it. The breeze brings goosebumps to my skin.
Here they are all pinned on, and I'm going to go ahead and start sewing those. I have different stuff I'm going to do on the top, so I'm just going to sew on the flowers here on the base, and then we'll figure out some of the placement of the other things here in just a second. So let me find yarn this color. Let's see, is that? Nope. Nope. This'll do. That color. This'll do for a couple of them. It is hot in this room, and I'm going to try to maintain the hair down look, but there's a strong possibility that I'm going to have to put my hair up and we're going to have the tiny head, big body syndrome going on. You have to do what you got to do, you know, when you're menopausal. If you're hot, you're hot. And when you're not, you still are. That song, it's not true. You're always hot when you're in this phase of life. I'm bitter. Very bitter, but I'm going to try to keep my hair down. Just know if you see it up, it just got too much for me. I think I found enough yellows that'll kind of match these flowers when sewing them in, because a lot of these don't have tails. And then I have some fabric glue that I will be using to secure them the rest of the way if I can't get them sewn on real well. And I'm going to leave some gaps in case I decide to add some leaves to some of these. But let's go ahead and start sewing. Where'd the needle go? I just had it. I hear it there. Found it. Y'all know how I've talked about my intelligence being just on another level. I just sewed that on backwards. I just undid it because now I have to sew it on the correct direction. That's skills. That is brains. I got them in spades. One down. Quite a few more to go. Here are all the pretty flowers all sewn on. Y'all did such a great job. Now, I am going to end up gluing the petals down, but I want to wait to see what I decide to do with the leaves. But I am going to end up getting some fabric glue and just tacking these leaves down so that they just lay a little flatter instead of all just curling up. I think that'll just look a little better. So now we're going to work on the top. And I know I'm going to be using this big beautiful flower here on the top, and I'm going to be using some of these others to go with it and make like a little collage. So that's what I'm going to work on next. Some of these little yellow flowers also are perfect, but they need the little brown centers. So I'm also going to be making those and then make like a little design here on top. And all of these are kind of different shades of yellow, which I think will look good to kind of bring everything together. So I'm going to go ahead and start making me some little circles. There. And then I will just sew this on when I tack it on to the top here. They'll all work out just fine. So I'm going to make lots more of those. I have had lunch and I have finished making all the little brown centers for the flowers that I'm going to use. And I've made some more of the little green leaves that I started. I actually started some of these yesterday. We're going to figure out how to place them all now. I am kind of pleased with myself because I think my idea is coming to fruition quite nicely. My vision is coming alive. It's doing a good job of that. I have everything sewn on except for the top part. So that's what I'm going to work on now. I have made quite a mess here. I have been known to do this and just sprawl out everywhere and just get in the way. That's what I've done here. But, you know, I know where it all is. Right here. All of it. It's a mess. I'm going to put this, let's see. I'm going to bring my table down. Isn't that amazing? I'll tell you what, this table, I love it. I just love being able to raise and lower my stuff. That's amazing. Technology. It's cool. Now the sunflower, I'm going to put it more towards the edge of my stool. I want this sunflower to be the very front. And I'm going to place everything based off of kind of where this sunflower is. And now this stool has the least amount of flowers on it. The others will have more, I promise. But because I wanted this one to have a specific theme, I just couldn't use the ones that weren't sunflowers. That's the only thing. But the others will definitely get used up. Do not fret. If your flower is not on here, it's coming. I promise. There are other big things in store for the other flowers. And I'm trying to sew this where I don't sew through. There is a fabric underneath this crochet top, so I'm trying to make sure I don't sew into that so whoever gets this can pull it off and wash it if they need to. Hopefully they don't need to do that, but I'm hoping I've done it to where they can if it does get dirty or something. I think this is more for decoration versus actual use, but some people might actually use it, and that's good. That's, I guess, what it's supposed to be. I'm going to be coming back with glue and doing a better job of getting everything down, but they will be held on with yarn as well. Mostly, I think the glue will help kind of give this more of a finished look. There it is, and you'll notice it is off center because I'm going to build the shape here along the side, and there will be leaves and more of the sunflowers right through here. Now this one is actually two flowers. I'm taking this little yellow one and then this pretty yellow one, and I'm gonna layer them on top of each other. And I think that'll make it look pretty. Give it a little bit of definition. Now I'm gonna sew in the little brown center. on top of the 2 layers. There's that one, and I'm just gonna keep putting more and more here on top. I'm all done putting on the flowers that I'm gonna put on. Now I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna use my fabric glue, which is Fabri Tac, this stuff, and I'm gonna try to tack down what's still sticking up, just so it's a little bit more secure. And I'm gonna hold these books on here to kind of maybe put some pressure on here to make sure they lay flat. And now I'm gonna do the sides. It's all done. Everything is glued and put on and sewn on. And I might go back at some point and add more leaves down here to the bottom, but I kind of like this. I kind of like them plain, like it is. And then here's the top. I think it came out nice. I hope y'all like it too. It has a little bit of character to it, and thank y'all so much for all the beautiful flowers. I will put a link to the video where I talk about why I'm doing these stools. It is for a charity that is for all blind children in the state of Texas, which is something that was started by my mom and my stepdad, and they have a silent auction every year, and so I am making these stools for the silent auction. One will be going to the charity event. The other 3 I will be holding on to here, and I will have an auction on my channel for y'all to be able to bid on the stools if you would like to have one of these. As we go through each of the stools and we get closer to the time when my mom's charity dinner is, I will ask y'all to help me decide which stool should go to the charity event, and then y'all will get to bid on the ones that are staying here. So that'll be kind of exciting. I hope y'all enjoyed watching me get all of this together. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see the remainder of the stools that I have to make and all my other projects that I have coming up. I look forward to seeing y'all next time here on the Rumi Mill. Bye.